Welcome, my lovely viewers. I'm your host, Madison Hutcheson, and today I will be having a special guest with me today. But before I get into that, I have a question for y'all. What is the one place in the world that makes you feel nostalgic and or happy? I will let y'all take some time to figure that out. Once y'all do, type it into the comments. Now, hold this thought and put it in your back pocket because we'll come back to it later. But for right now, let's get into the lesson of what we're going to be talking about today. Green infrastructure.
What exactly is green infrastructure? Well, I'm here to tell you it's simple. It refers to the vegetation surrounding urban areas, including parks, fields, private gardens, green roofs, etc. This type of infrastructure brings in the environmental benefits to your own city or town. These benefits can vary from health, social, to even economic benefits as well. Now, when you think of urban infrastructure, for most people, they think trees. Trees are not only there to be pretty, they offer many benefits as well. They act as nature's air conditioner, they provide oxygen for you to breathe, and it also can provide lovely addition to apartments and businesses in your area. Because say for example, you want to go to a Starbucks, enjoy your coffee outside, but it's so sunny. You can sit at a table that's underneath a tree because it provides shade, and it also provides you that clean, fresh air. So when you breathe in, you can just enjoy your day. Now, if you don't believe me, let me tell you, I have a friend here who will be joining us who can tell you her own testimony.
Now is the time to welcome in my special guest. Please welcome my dear bestie from home. Give it up for Taylor Harris!
Madison's best friend.
Hey, that's my dog. She's been my girl since the beginning. Anyway, I have her joining us today. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm here. I'm honest to God here. Anyways, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions because, of course, from over the years, me and you have been working together as camp counselors, watching over these interesting little kids, watching over the new generation. And one thing that we've always done is gone to the park throughout the majority of the week. Mm-hmm. Did you ever enjoy those activities?
Yes, I enjoyed those activities because, getting a breath of fresh air, surrounded by a whole lot of trees and bugs or whatnot.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna have to put a pin in this. We'll come back to that. Alrighty, sorry about that, y'all. We had a little interruption for a second. Anyways, we are back. Like I was asking you, Taylor, what did you like the most about those activities?
You mean being outside or?
Yeah.
Okay, I enjoy being outside because you got to smell the air that's outside. You get to feel the wind and the breeze, and we get to get our vitamin D because that's how humans function.
Amen. But okay, so for the sake of this interview, I wanted to ask, when it came to our years of camp counselors, we've been to two places. One of the places being, I don't know the name of the field, but we went to an open field for majority of our years camp counseling. Did you like that field?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was kind of boring because it's just field, grass, bugs. It's no main attractions there.
Okay. And the second park we went to, which for those who are known to Maryland and or PG County, is called Watkins Park. How did you like that one in compared to the field?
I liked Watkins Park much, much better because it had more activities for the kids, and it could even sometimes keep the counselors engaged with what the children were doing because we were looking at fun colors and stuff.
Now, do you remember the theme of the park by any chance?
The theme of the park is the Wizard of Oz.
Yes. Wizard of Oz. But tell me, what was the best benefits for going to Watkins Park?
The best benefit was definitely how much space the kids had to play and how many different activities there were at the park. We had slides, swings, rock climbers, benches, the little noise makers where if you hit it, it kind of sounds like a bell. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a whole lot of fun activities for kids.
Like a bunch of different jungle gyms and stuff.
Yes, that too.
Now, environmentally wise, what would you say what was the best attribute or best contribution with the environment to going to that park?
What do you mean by the environment?
So whenever we were there, especially on a hot summer day, what would you say was the best thing that kept the children along with the camp counselors happy? Like, environmentally wise, what do you think was the best point of access, or what do you think was the best thing to ever come to going to that park?
So I would say the best part of that park is how much shade there was. Even though we were all outside to soak in the sun and play in the sun, kids would get hot, and so would the counselors. Like Watkins Park, it's surrounded by like big, beautiful, shady trees. So whenever anyone got hot, we could stand under the trees and be fine, then go back out and play.
That's so real, especially on those days where it was like 90-something degrees, and yet it felt like 100. Lord, those trees would be our saving grace. Now, would you say that same thing would happen? Would you say that same thing you just said would be contributed to also like different inclements of weather?
You mean like if it rained?
Yeah.
A good thing about Watkins Park, if it rained, that there were places that you could still play in the rain. Like, if you don't care about getting wet, you could sit on the swings. But if you do care, they have, like, the way the park is set up, they have little huts in between each area so you can sit under and watch your kid play in the rain if you want to.
And remember, I can't remember which year, but it was that one year where although it was sunny, it started raining out of nowhere. And even still...
And all the counselors took shelter while the kids played.
Yeah, the little kids kept playing. Me, on the other hand, I had fun. I was dancing in the rain because we could. But that was also a good thing about going to the park, because like my dear friend Taylor had said, the trees not only provided shade, but it also provided shelter from whenever it did like heavily rain. But if it was some light rain, it would probably barely even touch us. But that was always the good things about it. Now, I have one last question for you. If you had to change one thing about the park, what would you change?
Well, one thing I would change is how much parking is available. So they need to expand their parking spaces. Yes, but one thing I would add to the park is I would add like little movable binoculars that kids or adults can use so they can scan and see the nature that's surrounding the park. So they could really look into the trees and look at the birds that are flying around and look at the bugs that are crawling on the trees. I would add those.
Nice. That actually sounds interesting. And I know some parks have that. Not all do, but that would be a great contribution or a great addition to Watkins Park. Honestly. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you for joining me on this
No problem.
lovely little day.
It was a pleasure being here.
Yes, and it will be a pleasure seeing you up on campus.
Oh, goodness.
Nah, I'm messing around. But I do hope you actually enjoy your freshman year when it does come.
Yes, thank you. I hope I will too.
Anyways, I'll chat to you later. Toodles.
Bye.
In conclusion, green infrastructure offers a sustainable and cost-effective approach to managing urban and environmental challenges. By including natural systems into urban planning, such as green roofs, private gardens, and etc., cities can improve air quality and create healthier, more livable communities. As climate change and urbanization increase, investing in green infrastructure is not only essential, but is a smart economic move. Embracing this approach helps build strong cities that work in harmony with nature rather than against it. Well, that's the end of this podcast. Thank you for joining me in Dancing in the Rain. Again, I am your host, Madison Hutcheson, and I hope y'all have a nice day.